You're tuned in to the Media Bee Show, and on today's episode, I'm bringing you my exclusive interview with famed writer and New York Times bestseller, Omar Tyree. Please like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media to keep up to date with all of my interviews and exclusives. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as The Media Bee and on Twitter as The Real Media Bee. Okay, it is The Media Bee, and I am here with Philly's own Omar Tyree. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit and chat about your new upcoming projects. For y'all who don't know, he's the writer of the first book for many of us out here, Fly Girl. I wanted to talk to you about that book because I know it's like a coming-of-age story, and we really don't see many of that anymore. I mean, we had a movie, Dope. Did you see Dope?
I saw that.
Yeah, I liked it, but... Yeah. Do you think we need more coming-of-age stories that tell our stories of like people of color?
Well, we haven't had one since you bring up Dope. I think that was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that's a long time. You know, you start looking at months. That's the 48 months. That's a long time. You know, so definitely, I think the new generation, they call them millennials, they don't have a whole lot of projects for them. Fly Girl isn't either because I'm not trying to make it, you know, a project where, you know, we modernize it. You know what I mean? It has a whole lot of particular things to the 1980s. You know, house parties, they don't do house parties anymore.
No, it just seems like in the 80s and the 90s, these coming-of-age movies were just put out like one after another, especially for like white audience. I mean, you have like Pretty in Pink, you could go on, and then it just like stopped. Yeah, we had a record of 19 films in 1991. I remember that. You know, that's when Deep Cover came out. Boys in the Hood. They had a whole lot of them came out that year. South Central. Yes.
And then the next year we had a Menace to Society came out the next year. We had a glut of a whole lot of films. You know, Deep Cover.
It was so crazy. I can't remember another flood.
Yeah.
Since then.
Yeah, that was a year where a whole lot of people did their own movies too. So it was a whole lot of them were independent films. And then hip hop was, you know, very paramount back then, so a whole lot of stuff. What's that? Poetic Justice came out a couple years after that. So yeah, we had black filmmakers, and we had a whole lot of independent people. Now it's gotten to the point where it's harder to get money, and then the whole casting thing. Now they got a lot of competition from YouTube. Now you got Netflix.
You got like the YouTube
and then television is picked
with
up.
Actual like actors.
Yeah. And then television is picking back up now. Shows like Power and Empire, you know what I mean? Then all the reality shows is taking a lot of business. You know, so now it's like, well, you gotta have reality shows, you know, which not really scripted stories that you can really follow.
Wait, you gotta say that with quotes, because we all know they're scripted.
Well, you know, what if your worst enemy showed up at a dinner and you had a champagne bottle and you argued over a man?
It's all scripted.
Like, I'm gonna meet my worst
enemy.
And
you just happen to be here with full face makeup.
Yeah, you know, so that's how they put it together. But yeah, that's a whole lot of things that's getting in the way of, you know, making our coming of age stories. I actually have a new story I just started called Social.
Okay.
And Social is half of social media. And it's about a bipolar girl, 17 years old in high school, always getting in trouble because, you know, she's manic depressive. So she's going up and down in moods, which can happen to a lot of these girls. And then on social media, you can have a good day where people follow you and a bad day when somebody says something bad about you.
And you're writing this now?
Yeah, I'm writing it right now.
Do you find it easy to like trying to connect to this generation with like?
Well, I guess yes and no. When I'm writing the book, it doesn't because now I understand them like that to write the book about them. But as far as trying to do other things with them, yeah, they don't have a temperament of patience. You know what I mean? It just seems like they think that we were born yesterday. Like we don't know anything. Like you know, like dude, I didn't go to high school. Like I didn't listen to music. Like I didn't. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? Like you know, we had to be teenagers, and then 20-something, then 30-something. So everything that you talking about, you already went. But they do know those computers more because we didn't have computers like that, cell phones and social media. So they do know that. But a whole lot of common sense, you know, human things, cultural things.
They lack. I was just talking about this, like, with somebody, how we learned social media, like our generation, but these kids were born into it. So it's like, you know, taking their cell phone away is like taking their arm away. Like, it is a part of them. And you're right, they are, like, socially stunted.
So I'm writing that book, Social, right now, and it's going to be something special, man. So it's going to be the new urban classic.
It's interesting that you're seeing that it's like affecting the girl or your character's mental health, because that's have, that's something that's being talked about a lot. The mental health,
Yeah.
the state of mental health.
It
in
is
America
a mental health.
with the young people.
It's going to be talked about because that up and down that they have is, they never get a break. As long as you have your cell phone, you have stimulus. But in our generation, you want to get away from the crowd, you go in the house. It's over with. Close your doors. They never
bullies.
even when they close their door, they got the cell phone, so it never stops. So it's going to be. It's too much. Like cut the noise off. They never do because they're on the cell phone. So they're going to have a whole lot of mental problems. And this girl I'm writing about, her name is Jessica Mayland.
Okay.
Great. She's a poet. She can act. She can dance. She all that because they want to do everything there. They all want to be stars. And so she's one of those that represents everything. But she's like, if she don't win, she has a tantrum, and now you can actually go read her mind. So first person narrative. So it's like, and then it's not even full sentences. I got it all broken up, chopped up, like just.
Because that's how they talk. That's how
great.
they think.
Yeah. It's great, So I can't wait. We're gonna put that out and do a tour in September and October.
Okay.
Now, I wanted to do a Fly Girl tour, but what happened was Simon & Schuster, who has the Fly Girl rights, they weren't interested in me putting it back out as a 25th issue rather. And then Lionsgate, who has the film rights, they won't even let me put soon to be a motion picture on the book. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and create a new dance partner and put on some new music and start it over again. And so I think it was meant to happen that way. And then when I thought about, okay, what book would I write for this new generation? Had to be that whole social media, bipolar. We used to call it manic depressive. Now they call it bipolar. Multiracial instead of mixed. So they changed a whole lot of words. Yeah. So I'm gonna write that. I'm writing it right now. It's phenomenal. I'm gonna let you see some of it too as the interview winds down. But it's really hyper. You know what I mean? It's addictive, and I know you're gonna lock them in. So it's this mentality of how do they think, how impatient are they, and then writing that way. And then I want to do films myself. So we getting into films next.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had a conversation in New York with some big money dudes. And I got to take it there now. So I got to be the mogul dude. I can't be just the writer. I got to be the producer, director, financier, hustler. I got to do all of it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
Because when you put it in somebody else's hands, and they not hungry and they eating already, and they're like, Omar, calm down. We're going next year. I'm like, dude, it ain't on next year. They keep asking me about it every year. I'm the one on the hot seat. That's why they don't want me to put, soon to be a motion picture on the book, because then everybody looking at them instead of me, and they like, nah, we're not ready yet. So I'm like, we're not ready yet, then what are you doing? Let me get the piece then.
And it's funny because as soon as you put out this social thing, and stir up the interest
now
again.
That's what happened last
night.
I had a meeting yesterday, and the financier said, you know what, we want to get the rights to Fly Girl, because if you do what you're about to do, we know that they're going to end up getting free publicity and a free launch pad when they didn't want to listen to you the first time. So he's like, let's get both of them. Then when you do the social thing, now you can come back and do the Fly Girl. You got both of them. So I said, all right, well, put up the money. So we got a price tag on it, but we have to see if those guys are good, because they know they're sitting on a gold mine. But if you're not going to shine the gold, then what the hell is the use? It's just sitting there dull and dirty.
Yeah.
You ain't going to make a necklace out of it. You ain't going to make no gold teeth or earrings. Do something with it. Just go sitting there.
That's what they do. They'll sit on stuff and they'll sit on stuff, but you're right. I think that the social project will stir up interest. I mean, it's current.
Yeah.
The mental health thing is huge, and social media is huge too. You also brought along All Access.
Yeah.
Okay, is this your newest?
Well, it's new as far as 2015. Because I've been trying. Last couple of years, I've been messing with music, so I'm about to get into that. But it's like the old head putting out a whole bunch of young people. But All Access, that was about really the reality show era of people giving up too much access, where the cameras are always flashing, always in your face. Come on in my house, come on in my bedroom, come on in my love life, come on in, It's like, come on, dude, how much is enough? You know what I mean?
But we see it. It's like every couple that does that. Well, not so much anymore, but when social media was like huge, every couple that did it, they were over. Yeah. Like obviously, it's a lot of mental.
Jay-Z's doing it now.
What?
Him and Beyonce.
I did not hear that. Oh, what do you mean? Just like letting
all
social
the shows
media?
He wasn't out there with the whole this new album they came out with, where they didn't rent it out the whole daggone art museum thing, and he's all over the place. Jay was never like that.
I think he's at that crossroads where you either evolve or you die.
So
you got to do that.
So I got to give you something.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me talk about me having my outside chicks. Okay, let me talk about us doing this. Let me talk about going
it's like
through
all
this.
of a sudden
let me talk
you
about
want to be relatable.
Yeah, let me talk about So I'm like, so he's doing all these sit down interviews where I'm like, Jay ain't never cared about that. If I'm making my money, cool. I ain't got nothing to say.
But you know what? Even though it's coming through like Beyonce's channels, because you know Jay doesn't have like the Instagram or whatever, it's coming through her channels. It's still really staged to me.
Yeah.
You get that?
Yeah, it is.
It's still very, very staged.
Yeah,
so
somebody told him you're gonna have to give up your personal life, Jay, for them to relate to you again. And he's like, okay, how much money am I gonna make?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's do it. Okay, we shut it down. We shut Kanye down. We shut Nas down. Okay, our numbers doing good. We're doing good. Okay, all right. I'm only doing it if it's not working. I'm gonna stop doing it. So you make sure it works. Okay.
Did you see the clip of what 50 Cent's of his take of what happened?
No.
50 Cent straight clown. Oh, he said, "Oh man, it was terrible what they did to Nas." They said, "When your stuff coming out?"
Yeah.
No, our stuff is coming out.
Well, I heard that Nas album. It don't sound like he was really into it, man. You know what I mean? I'm listening to it like it don't have the energy to it. You know, I'm like, that sounds like he's bored. He took a check. You know what I mean? And I'm a Nas fan. I got plenty of his albums, but that don't sound like, you know, he's there anymore. You know, like, okay, how much you gonna pay me? All right, turn the tape on. You know what I mean? And, you know, it wasn't there.
Someone said it seems like he recorded everything, turned everything over to Kanye, just let him make the beats.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
It is. It's like, yeah, Kanye wanted to put the thing out, and he said, all right, how much you paying me? And he took the check, you know what I mean? And everybody that listens to it, because we've been listening to music too long, particularly from Nas. I got like 6 of his albums. You know,
and
so
you
it's
don't
like,
hear Nas in there?
No, you can't fake that, man. You know what I mean? There's no energy there, no life at all. You know, it's like, nah.
Well, speaking about music, you said you've been concentrating
I got
on
Hot
music
Live
lately.
Entertainment.
Okay.
So right now I'm trying to get a meeting with Kenny Gamble right here in Philadelphia and try to get him to pass the torch, you know. And then I got a whole bunch of young artists, 23 and under. I got like 5 and 6. I got a 12-year-old out of Baltimore, singer, Jazara Genesis. You know, and then the writing is the key thing for me. Hot beats and hot writing. Because right now I'm hearing too much auto-tune. I can't, you know, explain one person from the next person. And so I guess the hot song right now.
You mean like everybody sounds the same?
Yeah, they got the auto-tune on it, but they can tell the difference. The young people, no, that's so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, you're talking about 5 shades of purple. It's all purple to me. You got 5 shades. I want some orange, I want some green, I want some white, some gray, black. But they are talking about purple, and they know the different shade. That's dark purple, that's halfway purple, that's fuchsia. I'm like, dude, it's the same cadence, the same rhythm, the same auto-tune.
So what do you think? Are you going to like infuse or be working with the producers that are hot?
No, I got my own producers.
Exactly.
Right now, it's so much open with the internet where, you know, guys have their own websites.
You can find these beats.
Man, and for me, it's consistency. So if I check you out and I go through, you got like 50 beats, and I find like 10 of them, like, yo, let's do it. And then they load up new ones like every week, and then the new ones are like, yo. So I got relationships with like a dozen producers who were crazy with it. I'm gonna let you hear some of the beats. Crazy with it. So it's about your ears. And then once you put on the beat, in fact, I said that on one of the beats, find a hot beat like this, it's all about your ears. You know, I'm still fly even though I'm turning 50 years. You know, so it's like, you gotta understand it. Like, they act like we don't know what funk is. Like, I'm like, dude, it's been around long, and I'm from Philadelphia. Are you kidding me? They act like we don't know what it is.
Yeah,
in fact, a lot of them don't even know how, when you play different styles of music, they don't know what to do with it because they don't have enough references, you know, like singing funk songs, you know what I mean? Like a Shaka Khan, like a Patti LaBelle, like even Diana Ross, I'm coming up, it was a funk record, pop funk. Yeah. They don't even know how to do that now. Beyonce's like the holdover, the holdover from that whole funk, you know, up-tempo grooving. Yeah. Now they got that whole scissor in the pocket groove, what's the Janae Aquino.
I like it.
Yeah, but they in the pocket. They don't go out. You know what I mean? Like in the Erykah Badu where you get out the pocket, you know, funk it up. They don't know how to do that. They hear funk beat and they like, that's old school. I'm like, dude, it's to jump on the beat and ride it. What you mean it's old school? Yeah. Put new stuff on it.
But was it even with the fashion? It was like Mike Epps who said that some young dudes tried to clown him because he was wearing a Feli set, an Adidas set, and he had to tell him like, I've been wearing this. Like everything's just coming back. Yeah. They think that they have.
You gotta upgrade your stuff. I gotta wear True Religion now. I gotta wear that. God. I can't wear my old stuff. Yeah, so a lot of the young people, but I'm working with young people because that's the wave. Everybody loves young people, but the young people I'm working with, they're versatile enough and they understand like, yo, that's a hot beat. Yeah. You know, I got one girl from Chicago and she kept sending me new stuff, asking me like, you think the old people like this?
Well, because at least they're open to opinions.
So I wrote a song for her called I Wanna Learn. and the beat is crazy. And we're gonna do the video right here in Philly with Kenny Gamble and all the drum players and pianos. So it's gonna be all old folks like talking to her about them, and they legends. If somebody had a nameplate, every time you show somebody, someone saw the Piano Man, which they get crowd, and then they gonna push that. And then young girl singing that, she's 20 years old. Incredible record. Yeah, so I'm looking at, and then the young people like, she's 20, they know she's 20, you're gonna PR it, so they get both crowds. I keep telling them, like, y'all keep going after that young crowd, you know what I mean? You get stuck there. You know what I mean? Like, if you get both crowds, you still got them. Now they can grow with you, but you already got the old, so it's no disconnect. Well, if you just go after them young people and they move past you, now you never got the old people, it's over with.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Beyonce does bridge that really well. Like, even on her new album, she has a whole song that was like written and sang by Migos.
Yeah.
But you know how like a lot of old people
sound like the
Migos. It
yeah.
sounds like them. I love it because they kept all their ad-libs in there.
Yeah.
But she knows, like, nah, let me do it. Now you got the older folks that like Beyonce, like listening to Migos.
Well, she always doing that kind of stuff anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but I got like original funk things that, you know, like the girl Mecca, she got a song called in like the 70s.
Okay.
And it's like get one of those.
That's the 20-year-old you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she's dope because she's like this bohemian love child kind of love song. So she likes that whole feel of the 70s with the funk and, you know, love songs and all that. So she's dynamite, but it's new stuff. It's new beats. It ain't old beats. But she'll bring that flavor. Then I end up writing that stuff. Oh, yeah. It's just on point. But she's into that now. When I first met her, she was like, I write my own stuff. I do it. And I kept sending her stuff. And she was like, that's hot. That's hot.
Yeah.
That's hot, yeah. And then she was like, okay, write something for me. And I'm like, yeah, y'all act like, you know, like, don't think I can't write. I understand black people, you know, they ain't that much change. It's still boys and girls, you know what I mean? You know, still love and unlove, and still troubles and other sides. Like, there's a lot of common stuff. Still parties and jamming, you know. And so, yeah, now they're open for me writing more songs for them. I got a girl from Indianapolis. And Anna Mars, and so she has a thicker, deeper, you know. Then I got this young, she's actually 30, the oldest, from Durham, North Carolina, and she got like this, what's it called? Mary J. Blige, Lauryn Hill thing, you know what I mean, with the voice. Yes, I got a lot of, and then the Jazara Genesis, 12-year-old out of Baltimore, she's a power singer, because her pop's like 6'4", so she's going to be, she's already tall for 12, so she got them lungs that have that, you know, that bigness.
Who does she sound like, do you think?
The 12-year-old?
Yeah.
Man, you had to go back to power young singing, like Stacey Lattisaw with power singing, you know. Let me be, she can put, but she's huskier, it's a thicker voice than that, but it's power, you know what I mean? So right now, they have girls singing lightweight, then they put all the auto-tune stuff on it, so you don't really know if they have power.
Even like Ariana Grande, like I think she's a good singer.
Yeah, I love her.
But they do kind of like drown her out a little bit.
Okay, so they trying to cross her to black people then, because you don't really have to do that for white folks.
Yeah.
They don't need that.
Her voice is just perfect.
Yeah.
I like her voice.
Yeah, so they put that on there because they feel that radio is used to that now, it's programmed. So I got 3 radio stations I'm going to push to now because I want to play my own stuff in its own form and then play everybody else's stuff. Like that one song, Be Careful, from, what's the girl name? I like that song.
Yeah.
And I think she's too raunchy with the words on it. She only had to use it, because you edit it, and you hear the raw version, you're like, wow, did you really have to, you know, but I love the flow of it, the feel. It's a happy song, but she put all that heavy wordage on there.
I think Cardi B has influenced these other people to get, or to be more accessible, where everybody was like standoffish and think,
oh yeah, I'm
like,
a superstar, you can't get near me.
I never wanted to do social media. In my day, Hollywood people were supposed to be inaccessible. You're supposed to keep the mystery.
Yeah, that's the aura.
Then you have Cardi B that puts everything out there, and now everybody's like, oh, this is what people want to see. They want to feel like they know me.
I call myself the old head, so I got to be out there like Omar's Angels with all the girls.
You can't just put your projects out anymore. People can't just like your book or like your music. They have to now like you as a person.
Yeah. And what?
Are you finding that hard? Do you have an Instagram?
I have all of that. The concept of me doing it is not, but that having to do it all the time, I'm like, I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like you got to keep forcing yourself. So I'm going to hire a staff of these young folks that, you know what I mean?
Like, y'all do it.
Go ahead and get down, because I don't feel like doing that all the time. Like, you know, I don't. But they're addicted to it. So that every couple times, I'm like, yo, dude, I'm gonna put that phone away. I'm gonna go get a steak. I'm gonna go talk to my dude. You know, I'm done with it.
People need to see you eating that steak.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hire them young folks, and they can do it all day.
Exactly.
You know, but as far as having live interviews, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm from the media, so I'm cool with this here. But as far as me getting on that phone and, you know, so I may do like 3 a day. You know, morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm not doing them all day long, but then I feel like sometimes you can cancel. You got a good one that's working, you cancel out by putting. You know what I mean? So I'm always. I don't want to put in the bad one after the good one.
It's a lot. I know. You put out a good one, if you put another one, I know what you mean.
Well, the kids, they know. I just keep putting out good ones. I'm like, I'm not going to just keep it. I'm trying to hold something there.
But look, Will Smith thought he didn't need it.
Yeah.
Now he realizes,
he does a lot more now.
But you could tell there's a whole team. You're talking about hiring 1 or 2 people.
Okay.
He definitely has a team, because his content is like, you know, every time he uploads something, it's a full-fledged, like, YouTube video or special. Not everybody got Will Smith money, so they're in the bathroom like Cardi B.
Well, Spike Lee's doing a whole directing class online. It's really clean. And then I just saw Samuel Jackson doing it for actors. And it's really clean. It's like you can touch, like you can reach through the phone. That's how clean it is.
Nice.
They even look it up. Spike Lee, he's like with the master class, I think they call it.
Yeah,
it's clean as every time I look at it, like, wow, this camera's like, because it feel like you can you reaching like computer age, reaching there.
Yeah.
It's classic. It's great. You know, so he's doing that. And that's the new world. And so I'm thinking about, can I do that for writers? You know what I mean? Maybe can I do that for writers? But I wouldn't. That's where I always get stuck.
Shonda Rhimes did that.
Shonda Rhimes
did that. Did like a writing class.
But she's writing for like television writing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, but really? That's the same like genre of like just.
But see, she's so big, she can do that. Because I'm thinking like, if I did it, would I draw enough people that want to write books? You know what I mean? That kind of, do I have enough advertising? So my thing would be, after I do all this other stuff I'm about to do, you got to get bigger. Then you know what I mean? Because right now, the book game isn't powerful enough. You know, so you got to become more powerful to have more people involved when you finally do it. It works well. Yeah.
So your new project, The American Disease.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
How about we didn't even talk about that?
Yeah.
You brought that up. I'm glad you brought it up. Well, the American Disease, for the last 3 years, I was trying to get financial investors, you know, to basically kind of like rebuild what I had going. And right now, the last few years, we've been waiting on this movie. So I think I got to the point I can't keep waiting on a movie. But by that time, you know, a lot of the funds have been depleted. So I'm like, yo, dude, I can't do it all myself now. I got stuff I'm paying for, kids both my sons in college. Now one just got out, you know. And so I'm looking at that like I can't do like I needed. I figured I would get an investor easy. And the investors didn't come. And then I would talk to folks like, I ain't got it. And I'm, you know, so I'm thinking, okay, do they lying? They don't have it? It's all tied up. Okay, if your money's all tied up, you ain't really got no money. You know what I mean? It's all, And so it got to the point where then some of the people who do have it, you know, I'm buying my 4th car, I'm buying my 8th house. And I'm like, dude, really? Like, I'm going to flip it over for you. You're going to get it back in 6 months. Double. I passed. I ain't into. So I got so pissed off at black people with this money thing. I said, man, we still broke. We still living from paycheck to paycheck. The ones who got it, they would rather practice the pleasure principle, which means I'm only going to support what I like. The hell with anybody else. In fact, I had a brother right here in Philadelphia. I told him exactly what I would do with the money. He knew exactly how I always get it back. And he told me, there ain't enough money for me. I said, dude, stop thinking about you and what it could do. You gonna make it. He knew he was gonna double his money. He's like, man, I'm thinking about millions now. I said, dude, he's like, the hell with what you doing, Omar, rebuilding. I don't care. Ain't enough money for me. And so I wanted to write this disease thing because that's what it really is. With capitalism, it's gotten to your brain where it's all about you, the hell with community, the hell with helping anybody. Even if you know you're going to make money, it don't matter. It's like, it's not enough for me. Why would I do that? That's not me, you know. And I'm like, dude, you see this bodega over here? You see this shop over here? I don't care about that. You know what I mean? So I was lit. And I wanted to write that to really get it in our heads that we are really suffering right now. You know what I mean? So you got these basketball. With Jay-Z, it's my favorite line. All we got is sports and entertainment. So the sports and entertainers, outside of them, everybody else, my money tied up, I ain't got the money. I'm like, really? This is 2018. You mean tell me I can't get $100,000 to open up this store in the corner without talking to Jay-Z or Puff Daddy or Will Smith or Kevin Hart? Really?
There gotta be more middlemen.
It's crazy. It's like they have the capital, and then they looking at it like everybody's coming at me, man. Come on, we don't have the other people. And so I out of anger, I wrote this thing. And so I got a character. He got a boy that got millions, and he's practicing the puzzle points. We got a big gated house and all that. His boy jumped over the fence to get to his house because he ain't been returning his calls. He got to sneak up on his boy's house, and then he ended up killing his boy over $100,000. And he asked him one more time, "Yo, you gonna give me that $100,000?" This dude's sitting on millions. This your boy. He like, dude, and he's like, "No, that ain't a good business deal. You don't have a bit." He like, "Yo, dude, I grew up with you. I need this cake to do something. Just trust your boy. Help me out, man." He like, "No, I ain't a good bit." Turn his back to him like I'm not doing it. In his house, so he's popped him in the ass and shot. So that's how the book start off. And then everybody that's surrounded after that, like, damn, he really did that? So now it's all about, okay, would I get to that point? Would I be diseased out with the money thing? And they all are stressed out. Well, even the rich people, they don't want to give it up, and people always ask them about it. Do you feel guilty or not guilty? I got a football player in there who's up for a new contract. And when you know about football and basketball, they go from a contract to nothing. So if you don't have an investment and all that stuff, this is Des Bryant from the Cowboys, he's not going to make $16 million in it unless he becomes, I don't know, a rapper or produce something else that's going to make that kind of money. So when these sports dudes, if LeBron James is good. He got a whole lot of stuff.
He good.
But the average sports dude, you're not going to make $8 million a year. It's $16 million, $25. There's no other, because you ain't no CEO like that. So if you don't invest that in a way where you can be a CEO afterwards, they always say 3 to 5 years after they finish career, they go back. Yeah, it's crazy. And so I got one of them, and then I got a rapper where he can rap positive and negative.
So wait, is this like 3 or 4 different storylines in this book?
No, it's about 12. It's like a series.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like Power. If you think all the characters in Power or Empire.
It's an anthology, like each book?
No, it's an episodic series, just like television. But I'm writing it in an ebook because, again, if I did it for television, I got to wait. I got to find the money. As an ebook, I can give it to you every month, on time, on point. Yeah. Then when we finally do get a chance to shoot it, now you read the ebooks already like, yo, you went off the mark. Omar, so now it's like a check and balance thing where you can get the pure story in print before somebody try to, but I'm going to be on charge of that anyway, so they're not going to mess that up.
That's great.
Yeah, so we're going to be on, with that, the whole American Disease was set up as an episodic series because I don't want you getting one and then it's over with. People are addictive now. They got to have that fix.
How many are out right now?
3.
3.
Yeah, the first one's full blown
shout out where
fatal.
people could get online and get this ebook.
Yeah, Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, iTunes, whatever you download. They got all these different sites, and then you can download them, and then it becomes addictive. So each month, I got you again. And then the people that's late, like say you're late now, and the 3rd episode is Money Over Everything. So now you read that, but you're reading in the middle of nowhere. So you're like, okay, they're talking about stuff I don't know about. Then you read another one. Then same deal there. Yeah. They still talk about stuff because when they talk about Mac and Billy, the 2 dudes I talked about that end up in a double murder, you don't know what the hell happened. In the second, you got to go back to the first because that's how the whole series starts. So it don't matter when you buy it. If you want a 7th series, you got to go all the way back to number. That means you got to pay me 7 times.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And I think that's good because we, this day and age, we want stuff quick. Yeah, and our attention span is like next to nil.
Yeah, so they're all like 60 pages, short, but the episode that's a television show, 60 pages. So I'm right on point with it. I get around 50 something. Okay, let me wind this down, and then I leave cliffhangers, so I never complete anything. She had a stroke. What happened? Why you just? I got the next episode. So you got to understand how to write that way and keep them. And now they all suspended animation.
Did you find it hard to learn? Did you have to teach yourself how to scale yourself
No, I was doing that anyway. All Access does that.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're going from chapter to chapter, Fly Girl was like, it wasn't each chapter like something new was happening. So that's normal.
Chapter
you know what I mean? Now people that don't know how to write books, I'm on page 38. Where do I go? I'm like, I don't know. Where did you finish it?
I mean, it seems like you totally adapted to what's going on now from just being like, you know, a writer of novels.
Yeah.
And like, let me just give it to you little by little. Keep my name out there.
Well, it's just like writing a novel, but I'm only giving you a chapter at a time. And I've done that before. I have a series called Corrupted, that's also on ebook. I have a series called Insanity, that's also on ebook. So I did that before. But it wasn't the stuff I got now was just like way over the top, and it had less characters. The Corrupted and Insanity had this joke was loaded because I wanted you to have that many people. So a lot of people, the only detriment they would say too many people, but I did that on purpose because I want your brain to be working that hard. You know where you have to go. Let me see what happened to her. Let me see what happened to him. Let me see. Now you have to keep flashing back and going. So now it's easier to write when you got 12 characters, right? 60 pages, 5 pages of character. It's real easy. You know, so that makes it easier for me. I got 2 white guys, the moguls, you know, one is sympathetic to black people, the other one don't care. You know, and he's in the sexcapades with that power money and stuff, which people talk about in the music industry a lot. You know, who had to do to get the money, you know what I mean? So I've been hearing that for years, so now I get a chance to write about that, you know, where they got them little, you know, masquerade parties with the money and stuff.
Be careful, Omar.
So all that stuff is writable now, you know. So that it's fun series. And then the investor meeting I had in New York, he loved it. You know, he loved the social book I'm coming out with. So it's a lot of new stuff. And I told him I got to get to that mobile level. I'm like a regular blue collar dude to walk around with no bodyguards and all that. But I said that the way it is now, either you're on the way top or nobody's paying attention because it's too many people you're competing with. So I said, look, man, at this point, I got to make sure I'm still young looking, man, get my gear together, you know, put a little trinkets of gold on. I got to be a mogul. It's what it is. And it's not about an ego. It's about being able to execute the things I got to execute. You know, when you walk in and it's like, oh, that, whoa. Then when I say I need $50 million, okay, we got it. You see what I'm talking about? But if I come in, I'm blue collar, and he's like, oh, he look like a regular dude. I asked for $50 million, like, we'll think about that. You know, so I can't get back. I got to pay all that nonsense. You know, so I already know. I used to be a blue collar. I get to the next level. I'm gonna be jazzed up on purpose. You know what I mean? Might pull up with the Rolls Royce out there just to get your head bubbling. Oh my God! But I'm still blue collar. But I got to get you feeling like whoa. And I used to talk about that a lot. That you people fake it till they make it. But if I'm really getting it, I ain't faking it. But I really wouldn't want to do that. But to make that money move faster, I have to, because at the end of the day, that money is what's going to allow me to execute all these great inspirational programs, the businesses I want to establish in the black community. If you don't have the money, you're just talking about it. And right now, I'm around too many good-feeling people, positive, conscious people. They broke. They are broke. So I'm looking at this like, dude, us sitting at a table talking about what we need to do in the hood, and ain't none of us got a daggone dollar. That ain't doing no good. So if I got to go ahead and put myself with the moguls, I said, look, I'm going to come back with the money, but I'm going to go in that room with the gold and the jewelry and, you know, the flashy flash, because I got to get that money with them dudes, you know. So I go ahead and sacrifice that blue collarness to be a mogul, you know, to do what I got to do.
That's what you're going to do. I mean, it's the land of don't nobody. If no one else thinks you're hot, you know, that's the only time that you matter.
So my label is Hot Lava Entertainment. It's hot and it's going to roll down the hill and stick on you and burn everything up, you know? Good. And then it's more than entertainment. That's how we push it. And then I got the 3 radio stations, television, film, music, everything.
Tell everybody you're ready the name of your stations. Tell everybody.
HotLavaRadio.com, WestCoastHeatRadio.com, and then for the Roughnecks, I got Rough, Rugged, and Raw Radio.com.
What's played on Rough, Rugged, and Raw?
They want it rough like that, so I gotta have I can't let all that money go away. I gotta make sure that money is into, and then I can find some, you know, diamonds in the rough on the Rough, Rugged, and Raw tip. You know, so you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, that kid, what's his name, Lil Pump, you know what I mean? He got this new, I thought he was going to be another one-hit wonder. He got a new song, Exquisite or something like that. He got
Let's Get It.
That joint is hot.
My kids taught me how to say that. I do love that.
Say that again?
Let's Get It.
What? Let's Get It. That's what it is.
Whoa! But you got to say it weird like that.
I can't say
Let's Get It.
Wow. But the beat, when I heard that, I was like,
the beat is
yo.
crazy. The beat is
you know, so I ain't no hater, but his sound sounds like,
6ix9ine.
He sounds like the kid, rich kid from LA, the dude does the freezer thing, my freezer. Same, but my son's like, no. I'm like, dude.
How about 6ix9ine?
Okay.
Do you have you heard him?
Say it again.
6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
6ix9ine?
He's the guy that has the 6ix9ine on his face. Have you listened?
The beats are okay. the whole psychology, I'm like, what the hell is going on? When I first saw his video, I don't know if he's Mexican, white, I don't know what he is. I see all these black Brooklyn, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what y'all following this dude? It blew my mind. Like, what are you doing? Like, he's from the hood. I'm like, yo, dude, I'm not gonna be following. May call me racist, the president. I'm not gonna be following some dude.
It's a little murky and a little goofy out here. You really got to, R.I.P. to XXX Tentacion. Did you listen to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I listen to everything. So his music. It's just sad that we lost him too soon. He was really like out there, but kind of like not asking you to be out there too, but kind of meet him on the level. Yeah. And after he passed, you hear all these big artists like Kanye, like, yo, I was inspired by him. Like, it's a shame.
Well, that's saying that, but I heard him a while ago too. I don't really follow these guys, and he didn't have no over-the-top hit, but I heard it, so I like it. So that's what's going on there, and that's what happens to a lot of them when they got niche stuff. Mm-hmm. So they're not over the top, so everybody, so they'll hear it, but it's like, he's not going over there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where they are inspired by it. So now it looks like it's corny, but it's like, but he didn't have no hits.
Exactly.
So it's like,
but
I heard it.
Because
I heard it. Yeah, I had a friend that argued me down. I said, dude, I heard it last year. No, now you got. I said, I backed away. I said, you know what, dude? I'm not no kid where I'm going to argue about this thing.
Or take his style.
Yeah. Well, that's what they said.
It's like the whole Kid Cudi thing.
Yeah, that's what they said. But even with that, if you're not on that major level, then they can easily take a lot. You know what I mean? That happens a lot. It happened for days. You know what I mean? Even when Jill Scott was writing and Erykah Badu was doing it, but Jill Scott came out after that, and then they had this little thing going on. You know what I mean? About authenticness.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I like both of them. It ain't no big deal.
Is there anything like that in like the
book?
The literary word?
I was the one that was roughing stuff up.
Okay.
I was the baby of the bunch years ago, and the big four was me, Eric Jerome Dickey, Elin Harris, and Michael Baisden.
Okay.
And I was the baby of the bunch, so I was more political, outspoken, black power and all that. And at one point, Elin Harris, who was writing the extracurricular sexual stuff, I'm like, I'm a straight man. I don't want that representing, because then it was like, women were like, are you half-time, part-time? I'm like, whoa. Mm-hmm. Because then it was like, you a black man writing books, you automatically, and I was like, yo, I can't be under that cloud.
Or writing books from a woman's perspective.
No, even in just writing books, period. You know what I mean? Like, you on a gay side, I'm like, yo, dude, I'm not, so I wanted to try and like, push him, you know what I mean? So I could be the dude. And so some people were like, Omar, why are you, so, but it wasn't personal. It was like, I don't need this in front of what I'm trying to do as a black intellectual man. Because, I always call myself like a hardcore intellectual. I'm really like a throwback to the Black Panther. When we were hard black intellectuals, but we were cool. Now it's like anti-hip to be too intelligent now. They dumbing everything down. So now I'm looking at me like, I'm a throwback. Like, I can't be smart and hard. You know what I mean? Like both, like the Black Panthers, Huey Newton understood what he was talking about, but he would get in the street and tussle with you too.
Yeah.
Now they don't have that. You got to be one, either or. And I'm like, yo, dude, I had to come out of Philadelphia first. There ain't gonna be no either or. I can hold these. That's why I got two rings, because I got both hands. You know what I mean? Like, oh, don't get it twisted. Will Smith, all of us, you know what I mean? Like, we had to come out of here first. I just tell people all the time, like, I wasn't no writer that happens to be black. I'm black, and then I became a writer. You know what I mean? So don't get it twisted. I had to graduate from high school and grade school and middle school and the neighborhood and the playground. So when Elin Harris was in there, I was like, hey, man, it's too big of a crowd on me with women like, so Omar, you part-time, half-time, sometimes. I like, hey, man. And so I had that little friction with him, because I would go to some events and I say, look, I'm a straight man. And then it kind of felt like, you know what I mean? Like, but I really wasn't. I'm like, yo, dude, I don't want that attached to me. But it was, and I was like in my late 20s, so I was really at that point, like I had a new son and wife. I'm like, yo, dude, ain't no hard time, part time, none of that, So that was the and then Eric Jerome Dickey used to write plot-driven books. Yeah. So his books, they start faster, and I write characters where I'm really trying to deal with the characters. So they're slower, but they're deeper. And so I had girls say, well, your books start off slow, and I'm like, you read Eric Jerome Dickey, right? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, look, he's writing plots. So when you write from the plot, a man kills a man. You know what I mean? Like, it's different style of writing.
It works backwards.
Yeah, like with this American Disease, it's plot first. So we got the murder first, and then everything else. You know what I mean? So I understand that it's plot driven. So I had that little conflict. You know, which wasn't really a conflict. It was just a style of writing.
Yeah.
And then Michael Baisden, you know, we used to do shows together, and he was like, Omar, you on this political black man, black power. He was like, you got to be more of a ringleader, man, showman. You know what I mean? Give him. So Mike he would piss people off on purpose, and then pass the mic around. You know, why the men cheat? Men need more. Women loud dog chasers. You know, and he passed the mic. No, and then he just sit back. So he ended up on radio because he already knew how to rebel rouse and stuff. Where I'm trying to give him solutions and stuff. Mike like, stop it, Omar.
He wants to just rile
him up.
Cause conversations.
Yeah, you talking about nobody want to hear that. You trying to, you know. And I was like in my early 20s. So he like, you a baby face dude coming out here trying to talk grown folk. He cut it out, man. He said, you got all the stuff, man. You got the look. You got just jazz it up, man. So he was always on that tip. But we were the big four. But it wasn't really hard conflict. But the Elin Harris thing, I just didn't want that shadow on me.
How about now? Is there anybody?
No, nobody's big enough. Nothing's really. I'm cool with Zane. Me and Zane is real tight. I can call Zane right now, you know. But it's not. We're not making that kind of. With the reality show, so even speaking, I used to get like $80,000 a year speaking at colleges. They don't invite me anymore. They invite reality shows. And they always gonna invite musicians for homecoming. They pay $80,000. I was at Howard last year. They had Rick Ross over there, and he had his entourage. Maybe he did 2 songs. He let the entourage do the rest. I'm like, he got $80,000. Yeah, he walk around, smoke his pipe, you know, looking like Rick Ross on stage, and he get $80,000.
Oh man, no, we gotta.
And everybody else doing the work. You know, he walk around.
We gotta rouse everybody.
Yup.
You know, attention back to books. It's so funny because I recently moved, so didn't have cable for a week. Bought my daughter a book. She's like, I need to go back to the bookstore.
Yeah.
So sometimes all these kids need is, you know.
I had a friend that she was reading my books at 19, crazy. And her daughter, she sent me a picture of her daughter. She said I had to force my daughter to read because she got that cell phone. I told her, I'm going to take that damn, you're going to read this book.
Exactly.
And so now the daughter wants to read the second book, and then, you know, so it's funny, man. You know.
Yeah, it is funny.
And so I took a picture of that and then put that on social media and all that. They had a blow up on the Shade Room. They had Fly Girl and the Coldest Winter Rebel. And so that got like 280,000 hits. So that's why I was like, yo, I can bring Fly Girl back out. But yeah, the Simon & Schuster wasn't hearing it. You know, they don't see the vision. You know, and it's easy because I would do a whole bunch of signings, sign it, take the picture. You know what they're going to do with the pictures. And then the Snapchat, anything. Oh, you know what they're going to do. So I'm like, do you understand I didn't even have this method of marketing back in the day? Now they got, you may tell me if I got 300 girls, I'm going to sign every book just so they can take that picture to go to, that's 300 girls times how many fans they got. Yeah, I'm like, are you kidding me? But they don't get it. So I'm like, all right, social, I'm going to do my own thing. Yeah, because I did it before. I became a New York Times bestseller off of my ideas. And the publishers just backed it because I was, you know, published with them. So, okay, Omar wants to do this date thing where, you know, I had a date for my book. You know, they didn't do that before. And I told them, I said, we got Tuesdays for records and Fridays for movies. So I said, I'm going to make a Tuesday for my book. Oh, we don't do that. You know, the book just comes out and then you say sometime in August. I said, all right, it's in the middle of August 15th, Tuesday. And so I promoted that for like 9 months. We sold 50,000 copies, sold out on that day. I said, I told y'all, man, you tell them a date, they got their money ready, they circle the date. And so at that point on, we start doing dates and whatnot. You know, so I understand how now with the social media, you got to make it viral.
Yeah.
You know, so now I'm looking at, and then how to make it viral, you got to break down smaller pieces. It's the small stuff. I just studied that yesterday. Small stuff. Did you see the curl on her hair? And they'll go to check out just that one curl. It's crazy. So you can't be broad. It got to be very specific. Did you see that white mark on her teeth? And they'll go look, and then it's like addictive. Yeah. But they're still looking at it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wow. So now I'm gonna mastermind that with young social media people, so I can make everything I do go viral. You know, who does Omar think? Did you see the cigar he had? What kind of cigar is that? And I have a trade, and then they're gonna look just to see the cigar, not to look at me, not because they like me. They're just curious to see what cigar are they talking about. Because it sounds like they're out of the loop. So I'm thinking about this like, I'm gonna manipulate. I'm gonna mastermind that small pieces. So even when I do my music with my artists, What part of the lyric do you like? What part of the beat do you like? What part of the video do you like? What part do you go? So they're going to watch specific, but they're still watching the damn video. Still listening. Because you can't not listen to the song to look for a part, you know?
Now with this attention,
Oh my goodness.
they're on it.
I like when she says, wee, right? And you know, I get them ad libs you was just talking about, they paying attention to, ooh, wee, whoa. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I love it.
Are you kidding me?
I love it.
So now I'm zeroed in on very small, teeny, tiny.
I'm here
Did
all
you
for
see the
that
freckle on the left side of her face? I mean, is that like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And so now that I have that mastermind, I'm going to work it to
You're gonna
death.
milk it.
I'm going to work it to
But
death.
let's, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with me, the Media
Yeah.
Bee.
Yeah.
Thanks for rocking out with Evolve
American
Radio.
Disease, baby. On
Yeah.
Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, wherever you buy your ebooks. Social is coming. And the music, HotLavaEntertainment.com.
Get
We
into
got
it,
a
guys.
lot of young talent coming, so I'm about to do it, baby. Omar Tyree,
Yes,
the old
thank
head,
you.
just spoke.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Media Bee Show and listening to my exclusive interview with Omar Tyree. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to get notifications on all of my exclusive interviews and content. And again, please follow me on social media. I am The Media Bee on Facebook and Instagram and The Real Media Bee on Twitter. Until next time.